Hello filmmakers and welcome to the Film School. We're going to talk about 360 video today and working with it and the pitfalls, the advantages and the difficulties therein. Because let me tell you, there are many difficulties. So I've been working with 360 for quite a while as a music teacher and more recently as a landscape a way of recording landscape really for my paintings and other work that I do, my dance and things. So the concept of 360 was never as a creative artistic concept on its own. It was usually to support something else. It was a bit of a workhorse actually, and I've used a GoPro. So I haven't used any other 360 cameras, so I can't really comment on those. But, you know, the whole issue with 360, the wonder of it is that you can, when in the edit, it's like you've got, 80 cameras pointing in all directions, and you can get all this. You can, use your tech to just go into wherever you want as long as it was viewable. Some things are hidden because there's something in the way. So, for example, if you want to do a bit of 360 footage but you don't want yourself in it, you can go and put it somewhere and run away. That's what I've been doing, which is quite amusing. And then you just cut off the beginning bit in the end where you go to pick up the camera. So you can get some really good garden effects doing that. You really don't want yourself in it. This is if you're not going to edit it. If you edit your 360 footage, you can edit it so that you're never in it. Do you see what I mean? Your hand's never in it, or the edge of the camera or the edge of your cap or whatever it is. But if you don't edit it, if you're just uploading like I'm doing now to YouTube, then, the idea of not having yourself in it is quite attractive, because I'll tell you what, you won't get a good view of yourself unless you're exceptionally beautiful from underneath the chin, which I'm just not. So that's just a couple of sort of the physicality of working with 360, the importance of that or the benefits of it. The downside is sometimes your 360, in fact, quite often, even if it's calibrated, you've got a line going across where the 360 meet, where the 180, where the front camera meets the back camera. So that can be a bit annoying actually. Especially if you're doing, you're attempting to do something really immersive and really clear, perhaps in a sporting environment or something. So really the biggest thing I've found, the hardest thing is to do with size. And the weight of these movies is, it's so heavy. Now, I always remove the sound. Up until now, I've removed the sound. That doesn't mean I will always remove the sound. If I was doing a gig, I would keep the sound in. I'd want that. It's better not to speak. When I go out photographing, which I do once a week, or filming, I go with my brother and we're always mumbling in the background. Well, it's not even in the background. If I've got the camera quite close to me, it's picking up my dulcet tones, and we're usually talking rubbish. So you don't really want that in it. So I would recommend that if you're trying to get something that's truly immersive and realistic, just, don't be tempted to talk, and then you can include the audio. So I always mute them anyway. And I what I do now, when I was doing music lessons, I would film, a whole music lesson on the GoPro. Up until I think 8 minutes, it automatically reshoots on the GoPro, and I'm not sure if that's in I think I think it just does that, even if you're just using the front view camera. I'm pretty sure, although I can't swear on it, maybe not, but every 8 minutes there's an end of one section and a start of another, so that's a bit annoying actually. But anyway, now I'm literally doing very small clips, because an immersive view for a client or for somebody who's looking on YouTube, they don't need hours of it, because everything's there in 10 seconds, the entire view, and they can just keep going over it, zooming in, zooming out, just pinch with their fingers on their phone, or iPad, whatever you're using, and move things around. So you actually, the average clip I think I do is about 20 seconds. Some are less, some are more. So every time I go to a sort of new situation, if you like, so, beyond a fence or beyond a wall, or, where the view's changed quite a lot, then I'll press record and do that. And so it goes on. And I usually end up with, a lot of very short recordings. And what that does is it means that the recordings aren't individually too big. I think the maximum upload for YouTube is around 56 megabytes, if I remember rightly. And so you're well within that with a 10 or 30 second clip. So that's pretty good. They do compress it a bit on YouTube, which is, I had this idea that would be quite good, because then when I downloaded it, it would have been already compressed. It's got all the metadata, etc., etc. But nothing would be that simple. When you upload your 360 to YouTube, you can only download it as an MP4 flat, two-dimensional piece of footage. So that's no good. So, I'm uploading to Gumroad at the moment for my members, because we're offering free rushes for members to, play around with and make their own art from, hopefully. And I can't do it via all those films. I think I've got about 36 films up already. That's just in 2 weeks. There's an awful lot of footage, an awful lot of heavy footage, but I can't download it in 360. So I've got to re-upload it directly from my Quick software. And the Quick software is what I use for the GoPro. It's their own in-house software package. I don't like it, to be honest. I'd prefer something else. And I've had this GoPro for quite a long time, so I may think about, going for a different camera, simply because I hate the software. I really don't like it. There's lots and lots of other software which I've played around with and I prefer, but we'll talk about that in another show. So yeah, basically, if you're doing something like I'm doing on Gumroad, then you miss out that YouTube middleman. You don't need it at all. If you're wanting to show a free version and a paid version, then that's what you've got to do. Now, the other really good thing that you can do with 360, and I have actually, I believe, sold one piece of stock 360. I mean, it's not my bag. I can't be bothered with all that. I mean, my brother is, that's his sort of, that's what he does, stock photography. But he does stills. He doesn't do moving image. But they will take, I think, around about 10 seconds and they're happy with. They don't really want much more. And there is a weight limit as well to that. But as far as I know, they don't compress it. That I'm talking about Pond 5 here and Alamy and all of these places. All of my footage eventually could be stock available, but it's not really what I want to do. I'm much keener to sell it myself on my own platform individually. So you have to make sure that your platform can deal with what you're uploading and what you're downloading. And I mean, I haven't done a Gumtree yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm all right. So I did check that at least. So yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is the time that you're going to spend not actually doing the footage. It's really interesting, normally you spend a bit of time setting up your camera, making sure everybody's all right if you're doing a bit of video, or everyone's posing if you're doing a bit of, a reel for Instagram or something. And then you do a quick edit and it's up and bang and that's it, forgotten. But not with 360. With 360, it's going to take 20 minutes to upload it. It really is a very, very slow process. And if YouTube's busy or your bandwidth isn't very good, your internet connection, etc., it's going to take even longer. I mean, I've had them where they're taking an hour, just for a sort of 60-second clip, and you just think, blimey. That's not usual. That was very unusual, and I think it was peak time. And I mean, I use not just Wi-Fi. I use an Ethernet as well, if I've got a lot of stuff, and in the hope that it'll be a bit quicker, but I haven't actually found that it is. Not markedly anyway. It's a bit more reliable because it doesn't cut out like Wi-Fi does. Wi-Fi quite often will, suddenly cut out for no good reason. Probably something to do with the neighbours doing something like, using my Wi-Fi. So I'm sure they're not. I hope they're not. They probably are. I mean, people do that, don't they? But maybe that's why sometimes it's so slow. Oh, maybe I should look into it. Anyway, I'm not particularly worried. So, and the other thing, of course, is if you're doing it with Wi-Fi and you've got, the kids' TVs are on, your TV's on, everyone's using their phones and everyone's using the Wi-Fi, then it's going to be a bit sluggish. So it's quite a good idea to do them at night, overnight even. You could, just press upload and go and do something completely different. Go out, if you feel confident about that. There's not much that can go wrong when you're just trying to upload a film. So yeah, and when you upload to your 360 to YouTube from the Quick app, you can put in the title, you can put in the style or the genre, whatever it is, and you can put in your tags. I don't actually do that because I prefer doing all that on a laptop. I just find the typing business on small handheld devices is annoying. It's a bit of a nightmare and things go a bit wrong then. So I tend to do that after the fact, So what I do actually is upload maybe 10 or 15 clips, which takes, a whole evening, sometimes the next morning, and then go into YouTube and edit the whole lot in one sort of batch. And that's just my kind of working method. But there are lots of working methods. Because I'm a prolific capturer, if you like, of rushes, because I'm working at the moment on a dance project and I want to have lots to choose from. And because I find it easy and because I've got a camera and I've got a YouTube and why not? I'm kind of used to doing that many, but actually, why would you do that many? Take, for example, I went to this car show. That was our first one. I could have just walked around quickly, done the whole lot, and then, gone home. And there it would be. There would be my 360 at the ready. So yeah, that's just a sort of general opinion of the 360 so far. I'll be going into a lot more detail about, specific things, and, I can't wait till my, this other camera comes. I'm not just doing 360 here, a lot of 360 at the film school, but I've bought this other camera, which is a snorkeling camera. So we're going to have some really good fun with this. So you can go and join. It's really cheap. It's like £3, I think, for the basic. And that's just all of my stuff really to view. And the higher tier, which is £9, you can actually use my rushes, which I would really like people to do, and I'm looking forward to seeing work that other people do, It's a month, by the way. Okay, right. Well, welcome to the blog and welcome to the podcast, and have a great day, and I hope you make loads of fantastic films today. So if you pop along to telltellerclub.com, you will be able to find the film school there. We're on Gumroad as well, and iServalan Film School. I don't know if I'm coming up in Google yet. I haven't looked, but you'll find me. And if you go to YouTube, I'm linked on my YouTube as well, and that's Tellteller Club at Tellteller Club.